Hello, my soul tribe. So we're going to have 2-day 12s because I got a little out of sync. For February 12th, the message, or it could be the 13th, whichever aligns with you, we're working with the wild unknown animal spirits. Okay. So I started playing with this deck a little bit yesterday, and it was pretty amazing the insights that came through. So the way I set up this spread is your energy is on the left, your person's is on the right. The energy flowing between the two of you is at the top, the bottom, in the middle is the way spirit is kind of influencing this connection. And then we have your intentions as well on the left and the right. So I may reference the guidebook just to get some more information and dive a bit deeper. Keep in mind, these are collective and general. Receive what aligns, release what doesn't. Never take anything that doesn't resonate with you or give your power away to a reading or an outcome. You are a conscious creator, right? And timelines shift and change with our free will choice. So let's go ahead and get into it. Starting out, for those of you watching, your energy in this dynamic is the unicorn. Okay, so you're quite rare. You're magical. You have a healing energy. You might have been doing a lot of healing for your inner child or your inner teenager. Okay. And so you really are showing up in this world with this incredible magic, right? Knowing your magic, spending time with those that really honor you. You've been doing a whole lot of healing work on your journey. Okay. So your energy signature is rare. Your mission is rare. Many of you, you connect in with the full moon energy. You connect in with, kind of mythical creatures, and you like fantasy and things like that. But if you notice, this is a spirit card, okay, in this deck. You have the spirit card. So you are definitely in alignment on your path, okay? You bring a lot of magic to the table within this connection. You honor and recognize cycles here within this dynamic, okay? And you also bring in a lot of healing because, of course, you've embodied that throughout your experience with this unicorn energy. I think you shine the brightest when it's dark. Okay, that's the other message. I'm definitely getting star energy from you. You could be an Aquarius, but you don't have to be. The fact that you have the spirit card as well is, I feel like what you bring into this dynamic, or what you bring into a dynamic, is this sense of wholeness, this sense of knowing who you are, not coming from any place of scarcity. And so you're not looking to others to complete you, right? You're just looking at like how you can create together, how you can show up in this magical energy, and you want someone who can hold space for you in your magic and in your magical presence, right? And handle you correctly. And when I say that, I mean, you think about a unicorn. Someone sees a unicorn and they may just like observe it from a distance, right? They may, and just like have this incredible amount of respect for it. Some people may try to possess it, to control it, to use it for its magical gifts and abilities, right? So it's like you're so genuine that the way people show up in your experience really shows their true character, right? So it's incredible. Like, it's incredible what you bring out in others. It's incredible what you can bring to the table here, but mostly it's kind of this presence that you have. And of course you have wisdom as well that you bring forward. But yeah, it's really interesting because you show up as your authentic, magical, powerful self, and then you see how people respond to that, right? Especially in your romantic connections. And your intentions in this connection is the Phoenix. Okay, so some of you could be freeing yourself from this. Some of you, you're just evolving and growing. That's something that you're committed to. Of course, we have that spirit card again showing up with this Phoenix energy. So you may be wanting a rebirth here, but you yourself are evolving, ascending, releasing what does not serve you. Okay, you've definitely had a challenging path. And I think one thing that really stands out to, for many of you is like you've dealt with a lot of toxicity. You've healed a lot of toxicity. Again, you have this passion, and you have this fire, and you have this a magic within you. However, the other piece of this is you are so gentle. You are so gentle, and you are so kind. But if someone is not to respect you, of course, you have this fire and this passion, but you're bringing transformative energy into this dynamic, whatever it may be. Okay. That's the energy and the intention that you bring forward, is expansion, is freedom, is transformation, is elevation, right? Tons of passion as well, transmutation. Okay. And again, the spirit card. So like your intentions are aligned with who you are in this incredible energy. Now your person has the firefly energy. So they might feel a bit intimidated by you, right? But you can almost see like a firefly and a unicorn almost in that magical realm, right? How they are both kind of these magical beings, right? And the firefly energy, again, shines brightest in the darkness, and that's something else that you share. You, again, could be navigating and transmuting a lot in your experience, this person as well, with the firefly. Okay, but they're just kind of very kind of humbly going about their day, right? They're doing a lot of good in the world. You know, they're shining their light. They're kind. Definitely searching to kind of find their partner, because we know the fireflies light up so that they can find their mates, like attracting their mates. So you may be with this person, you may not be with this person, you know, this is pretty general here. But this person is searching. They're definitely searching for something, for someone to match like their light or their experience. But I'm getting like a very gentle, kind nature from this individual at surface level. But just like you know, like again, I can see these two like walking off into the sunset, you know, together, or walking through the darkness together, lighting the way, right? So there's probably a lot that you learn from each other. But yeah, that's what I'm kind of seeing, is like, you know, the firefly flying right next to the unicorn. Like, so much makes sense about that, right? And of course, the firefly energy here, although is smaller, is quite powerful, right? With their light to kind of light up the darkness, light the way. This person might be a way shower for others. Let me see if there's anything else about the firefly that's important for us to know. That's the one I'm called to look on. Let's see. Yes, it is the air element. So we have the air element coming through again. Inspired, fantastic, yet fleeting. Okay. So when this person is in balance, they're very creative, visionary, but when they're out of balance, they're burnt out or they feel kind of dull. To bring them into balance, it says write a poem or draw. So creativity. Yeah, you both kind of have that star quality. So you shine really brightly in your experiences. Inspired. You inspire each other as well. Inspiration or awakening. Okay. Yeah, so it's almost like this person has to take action on those like inspired moments, is a big part of this, right? They can't just kind of go through their life, right? That's something that's coming through here. But this person also can be elusive, and interestingly enough, their intention within this connection is the panther. Okay, so that's very different from a firefly, right? So I would say that they're quite protective, okay, of this dynamic. The panther obviously can move in a very stealthy way, so this person might be quite stealthy within this connection. There's passion, okay. Let's see what else we have here. Yeah, protective. Brave, productive. Yeah, the panther is kind of what drives them. So you both, because the panther energy doesn't allow you to stagnate. So even though the firefly can kind of be like, do, the panther's like, oh no, we're getting this done. Okay, so the panther is motivating within this dynamic, or within this connection, is what's coming through with this panther energy. The panther requires you to live a fulfilling life, okay, rather than just settling. But also encourages you to face the unexpected or what's uncomfortable. So this person might have to make a lot of changes, right? You're showing up in this Phoenix energy, they're in the Panther energy. But the Panther is also wisdom at work. So integrating their experiences, their wisdom, their knowledge. Mm-hmm. The Panther energy is almost kind of like a coach as well, like encouraging you to live your most fulfilling life, not allowing you to settle. Okay, and it says that the Panther's journey always leads to a brighter place. So it's good to see that they have this energy within this dynamic. So you both kind of like are quite innocent and genuine at face value, like out in the world as you're doing your thing, you know, but together, like you have this force, you know, you have this, this motivating drive again to transform, to not settle, which is very interesting. And it says to bring the Panther into balance, it says get rid of the unnecessary. So again, this person might have to make a lot of changes here in their experience, or they're being motivated to at this time. There might even be a little bit of jealousy. A little bit of jealousy there, right? Very interesting. So then if we look at the energy between the two of you, as I said, that was 11-11, we have the Sea Serpent. And the Sea Serpent is about healing. And one thing that stands out to me about this card as well, obviously there's cycles involved, but the Sea Serpent energy here, it looks like an eyeball, doesn't it? So seeing things clearly, communicating clearly, healing and clearing obstacles, navigating deeper levels of yourselves, you know, within this dynamics. That's the energy that's flowing between the two of you, is it's about healing. Okay. And again, we have a third spirit message. So there's quite a lot of spiritual energy that's flowing, you know, between the two of you at this time. There's definitely, this is not just like a surface level connection. This is something that is much deeper, has a much deeper purpose. Now, if you're dealing with somebody who's toxic or unhealthy, you know, obviously don't disregard that, because I feel like these two are very much aligned in their purpose with each other. I don't feel like this is a toxic connection. I feel like there needs to be changes made. I feel like you, the one who's watching this, you've more so been in this, like, on this transformative healing journey, probably more so than this person has. But your transformation has been more, I would say, public, or you've talked about it more, whereas this person's transformation or the changes they make are behind the scenes. They don't share that. They're more stealthy with the Panther energy. Now, with the Sea Serpent, it is about deep healing. It is about forgiveness. It is also about the sensual energy that's flowing between the two of you as well, the creative energy, the inspiration. There's a lot that you gain in this dynamic. Now, again, this doesn't have to be romantic per se, but for some of you it could be. Then that would more so align. But if it is something more passionate, but if it's not, then it's friends or coworkers. Then it could simply be like you inspire each other and you help each other to heal, and you mirror certain things to each other. We'll look at the Sea Serpent message as well to see if there's anything else. Yeah, healing emotional wounds. It's about holding space for each other as well. Having to move through and, you know, expressing yourself without fear. Or without shame. And shame is a huge, I mean, that's a difficult emotion, you know, to navigate, right? It's also about clear, meaningful communication, authenticity. Okay, so the energy that's flowing between the two of you is quite clear. It's quite positive. It's quite productive as well. Mm-hmm. Also, there's a sense of protection. You both kind of protecting this dynamic here. And I know it's the Sea Serpent, right? But we are in the year of the snake, so that also might be significant to you as well. Also, the Sea Serpent goes back to like Norse culture, so that could be something else that aligns. And some of you, again, if it's a bit more of a passionate connection, then you also have the Sea Serpent connects in with the Kundalini energy. So quite a lot to unpack between the two of you with, you know, what you're navigating or what you're flowing with. But I feel like this would really align and connect, and you're very much like communicating with each other about what's happening, what's showing up for you, how you're feeling, moving through that wounding, you know, holding space for each other. I would even say like honoring your connection and your dynamic and the communication like outside of your connection as well. I'm seeing that just because there's all the very clear blue energy. Okay, so it's like crystal clear, or that's something that you're working on together here. Now, the way that spirit is involved in this connection is we have the golden egg. So there's obviously something important that you're creating. Like, again, for those of you that, if you're in a toxic or abusive situation, this is not your reading. This is not your message. This is obviously two people that are, you know, creating something really beautiful together, that are working well together, that are navigating challenges together, that are communicating effectively. So it's really quite positive here. Not necessarily easy, but positive. Okay. So the golden egg energy is the message at the center of the heart, or the unstruck sound. So it's something that you've not yet created, right? Or something that you're working on. It's warmth, it's quiet, it's kind of the path, you know, the path that you're walking, or, you know, what you're creating within this dynamic. But it doesn't reveal itself until you're actually, you know, taking those steps forward. Mm-hmm. It also speaks about vulnerability. That's why there's all this emotional healing that's happening between the two of you right now. Tenderness, gratitude, meditation, and allowing time for it to unfold. And it says, like, you are seeing an old friend that's been away for a long, long time. Listen to the message they've been waiting to tell you. So I feel like you connect to divine energy, or you connect to spirit energy through, you know, your dynamic, or you're also learning about that within this connection. You're exploring that together. And it's in the heart center, the heart chakra. Yeah. The home, or the self, or soul. Mm-hmm. So this is all about deepening of your spiritual path, your transformation, your healing. And the way that spirit's really communicating with you is through your heart space, right? With what's kind of being created here. And I believe this symbol is the masculine and feminine energy coming together. So there is like this union energy here. And it makes sense why you're protecting this, and it makes sense because a lot of this has to do with your heart space. A lot of this has to do with the path that you walk in order to become that kind of powerful, aligned, authentic, high frequency individual on this planet, right? And this is really, you know, quite interesting with kind of what you, I don't know if together you're healing. And again, it doesn't have to be passion. It doesn't have to be romance. This could also be a friendship, right? This could be a healing container. Like you're healing, helping to heal each other's hearts, right? Or spirit is kind of creating spaces and places for you to be able to connect, to do the work that's important for you to do. And one, you know, we have 4 spirit cards on the table here. I would say those of you watching, like, you're more aligned, you're probably a bit more spiritual, a bit higher frequency than this person is. But that's not to discredit the value that they bring forward, and the changes that they're making, and the motivation that they have as well, right? Because if you put these two together, it's like that panther sees, look at the yellow eyes and see, or the golden eyes and the egg, sees the value here. You know, spirit's made it clear to this person. And I think that you yes, you honor this connection to a point, but I also think like your journey, those of you who are watching, it's more so about like your own personal journey, because this unicorn is kind of turned away, right? A little bit. So there's a magnetism to work together, you know, within this dynamic. And it's 100% up to you if like that's what you want and that's what's best for you, right? Because this is quite general, but some of you, you know, this is just like a friend or somebody like you're guided to kind of magnetize to work with, to create, you know, to discover more within your heart spaces, to do this healing work, but then also bring forth like this energy or this product or this experience into the world for others too. It's about more than just the two of you, but it's like your healing partners on this journey. So yeah, certainly could be friends as well, within this dynamic. I want to get one more card here just to wrap up. I think we have the zebra, so it does have to do with being visionary. Okay, see how that third eye, all that beautiful, you know, vibrant color within the third eye. And this has to do with authenticity. This has to do with kind of the vision that you're creating. And we have the Luna moth here. And again, that's kind of something that is very transformative and beautiful, and again, magical and ethereal. But a Luna moth doesn't last very long, right? So it's like the opportunities here, and I don't think this is for you so much as this person, this other person, is for them to seize those opportunities or those moments to take that inspired, aligned action, because it won't be here forever, right? And so this, especially with the zebra that speaks of like kind of like downloads or um, really being guided by the soul self, I think that's a big part of this person's journey, because they don't have the soul cards just yet and they're still learning how to navigate the soul self. And when they do, then there's going to be like these really divinely inspired, beautiful moments with this. I'm going to look this one up as well with this Luna moth. I think only once I have had an experience of seeing one alive, and it was like on the water, and it was just this moment that you just like pause and like question, is this real life? Because they're so beautiful. Okay. Yeah. Also speaks about seeing life as an infinite mystery, rather than wishing it was easier or different. See, I feel this is more so for your person, although it could be for you too, you know, but it's like this person again with the firefly, just like do, 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 energy, and like then this intention of the panther comes through, and something much greater than themselves comes through about encouraging them to do this work, needing to connect with the soul self. It says, when in balance, enthusiastic and whimsical; when out of balance, idealizes others and jittery. So this person's like kind of afraid to embrace their power as well. They might really look to you, you know, frequently. And then says to bring into balance, finish a project. And that ties back in with this panther that was like, get rid of what is not necessary, right? In order to evolve and grow and move forward. So it's really interesting how complicated, kind of like intricate, like this is all kind of woven together. It's kind of intricate and it's kind of delicate at the same time. But there's quite a bit of power and energy and alchemy between the two of you and what you are creating here. But I feel like this person still, you know, they're still kind of receiving a little bit of encouragement to get on board with listening to their soul self, maybe with opening up to their spiritual gifts, taking aligned action, making plans and following through rather than just talking about it and being a bit flighty, okay, with that moth energy. This person for a while could be like not wanting to do their work, right? So you could be that inspiration. You could be the one that opens up that door. You could be the one that just by your example inspires, encourages, maybe motivates, and even frustrates this person a little bit, because you challenge them to grow. You challenge them to get out of their comfort zone, to step into their greatness, to step into their power, because they're like would much rather see other people in their power and not risk, being hurt, not risk being vulnerable. So they have a lot of that to unpack. Let's see on your side. I'm just curious. I just want to keep going into this. I think working with this deck is quite fun. What about for my soul tribe? Energy that's coming through. Kind of want to see what you're focused on as well with this unicorn energy. You have the buffalo. Wow. Look how intense that is. Yeah, so some of you, you're doing a lot of connecting with ancestors. You're doing a lot of connecting in with like ancient practices. You're seeing a lot of shifts and changes. You are playing with your power, okay, in a responsible way, but you're definitely seeing the outcome in the forward movement, the steps from that. You could have some sort of mentor or guide that you look up to that you're also seeing and learning from here. Oh, and the swan, beautiful. Yeah, that is stunning, stunning energy. So again, there's that gentleness, right? But as we know, swans can be quite aggressive at times. But look at, there's that mirroring. So I think it's really important to you that you find your person, or you find that those vibrational match people in your experience, your soulmates, like that divine love. You want someone who reflects that divine love back to you. Again, I feel like those of you watching, you've been through quite a bit. You've transformed, you've evolved, you've leveled up, you've done, quite a bit here. And now you're putting out to the universe, as well, what you desire. You're putting your divine self forward, and then you're basically, attracting that back in. Okay, you've heard that that term, as within, so without, right? But look how balanced and beautiful within is, and then it's, the external. I mean, it's gorgeous, and things are moving forward beautifully for you as well. I want to check in with that buffalo energy, and then we will wrap up this reading, this message. But those of you watching, well done, for the courage that you have had to navigate what you have, and embrace this transformation and your magic and your power and your uniqueness and your authenticity. Not everyone can do that. So celebrate that within yourself. Here we go. Buffalo. Grounded yet heavenly. Practical yet spiritual. So that might be something that you're focusing on, especially if you've been definitely doing a lot of spiritual work. You've got to ground it, embody it, and ground it into practical ways to implement into your everyday experience, right? So when in balance, trusting pure presence. When out of balance, reckless, lacks gratitude. To bring into balance, prayer, or I think it says bhakti. Okay, I'm not sure. Bhakti. But it says the buffalo sees the challenge, hardship, or bump in the road as an opportunity for upliftment. See, I feel like that's been a lot of your experience. That's why you get to kind of have this beautiful, almost effortless momentum moving forward here. This is you really appreciating your life, appreciating, the presence of those that are around you. It's really a sacred energy, divine, sacred, whole, transformative. There are these incredible energies that are coming through you for those of you that are watching. And if you are single and you might be dealing with somebody again who's kind of not fully committing to this journey, you might be calling in someone else who would, or who is going to do the work to align and match you. That's another message for some of you if this was a romantic thing. That's something else that could be the case. Or some of you, if you're in separation from this other person, that's what you're focusing on, is those that are mirroring, doing the work and mirroring like their divine selves back to you as well. And you're really appreciating those who appreciate you. And you're trusting in the unfolding of your experience, right? You're not going to hold on to anything that's not walking with you, basically, right? So some of you, that's the case, and you're continuing on your journey. Some of you, it's just like your practices, where you're figuring out how to balance, your spiritual practices with just the practical everyday life. And that's, that's a whole journey within itself. So that could be the place where you're at here. But you're not afraid of challenges. And I think, again, the other message about the buffalo is you could be calling in kind of somebody like that into your experience, where, again, you have this other person that you are kind of healing certain things with, right? But I think you're detached from them. Okay, I do feel kind of like you're detached from them for some of you. But this buffalo energy is someone who's going to have that mindset of seeing hardship, challenges, or bumps in the road as opportunities for upliftment, rather than being scared off, rather than being flighty, right? There's a great strength that's coming through. And the buffalo almost reminds me of the Hierophant energy as well. So a few different messages came through. Yeah, some of you, you're working on this within a dynamic. Some of you, you're with somebody and they're kind of on the journey. They keep getting like guided to do their work, their soul work, connect with their soul, step into their power, right? And some of you are just kind of, you're maybe with that person, but a bit detached and just kind of focused on like your own transformation and living your life in a magical yet practical way, right? So you can implement those skills and bring that magic into like your physical reality, ground it in your physical reality, and create the changes that you want to make in your experience. So it's really interesting because you're kind of two different personalities, but you do have these ways that you do align, and you do kind of have this little crossover. But just as things stand right now, it looks like this person is very much being guided by spirit to make healthy changes for themselves, to connect in with their soul self, and step into their power rather than being afraid of it. Whereas, you're kind of doing your own thing too. And then together with the communication, or, the cycle that you're in, or when you come together, you're doing deep healing work too. So that is a lot. So receive what aligns, release what doesn't. Thank you so much for joining me. Like I said, some of you could just be a friend. It doesn't have to be romantic. Some of you it is romantic. Somebody that you've been involved with for a while and you've been ascending and it's their turn to do the work, right? Some of you, you're just kind of detached. Some of you, this person's in your life, but you're dating other people and you're exploring that, to see what people can mirror to you. So just kind of take the pieces that fit. Never try to force anything that doesn't resonate, doesn't align. And again, this is just like a moment in time in this timeline, but it's quite cool, to unpack and see, again, the different details in your different personalities and what's important to you, and what you're both kind of working on. It's really fun to see that, right? And again, for those of you that are not with this person, in a committed way, or they're just a friend, like you're going to be calling in this beautiful soulmate energy that's going to do the work so that when you get together, things do move forward a bit more effortlessly, right? So that's what I've got. Receive what aligns, release what doesn't. Thank you so much for joining me. Take the best care of yourself, and I will see you soon.